Capítulo 3, o espinho. Ceda o seu poder a uma pessoa suspeita. Ganha
You're on a
conquista.
path in the woods. She stabbed us. She actually stabbed us.
Voz do traído.
Of course she stabbed us. We gave her the blade, which, I might add, I voted against.
Ah, oportunista também.
But the whole point was that she wasn't supposed to do that. The whole point of giving her the blade was to break the cycle of violence, and she just killed us anyway.
I guess it really doesn't matter if she killed us though, right? We're back here, which means that everything's fine, or fine adjacent. Maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change. Maybe that's all it'll take to show her that there's another way to do things. You know, maybe you're right. In which case, I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin and give it another try.
Cadê o narrador?
Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right?
Like that changes anything. We all know the game is rigged. It doesn't even matter if she's nice this time. I'm sure he'll find a way to turn us against each other.
Great, so you've obviously been here before, since you apparently died at least once. Twice, actually. Sure. Twice. Then I'll spare you the little introduction I had planned. You already know about the princess, and clearly you already know that she's dangerous. So don't muck this up. It's bad enough that this isn't your first time through.
Esse lugar está diferente, ele sempre muda.
Wonderful. If the woods themselves are changing, then that's all the more reason for you to take this seriously. It would mean your grip on things is slipping, which, in turn, likely means her influence is spreading. Someone's in the know.
I've had enough of these annoying little secrets. If you want us to do this, you have to let us in on your game already. All of your game.
I've already said too much. The more information you have, the more difficult your task will be. Don't listen to her, definitely don't free her, and if you can, don't even think about her.
Agora estamos kits. Eu tenho certeza de que a princesa entende isso, mas podemos ouvir o que ela tem a dizer quando chegarmos na cabana.
Yes. Good. Playing both sides. That's what smart people do, and you're the smartest in the room. I'm not sure it counts as...
Porra. Calma aí que meu fone desligou. Não sei se conta como jogar dos dois lados quando os envolvidos conseguem escutar tudo que você pensa.
Buddy, you're thinking in far too few dimensions. There's layers to doing this right, and I'm pretty sure the one making the choices gets that. Trust in the plan. Trust in what plan? The Decider's plan. Sure, we don't know what the plan is yet, but that's part of the whole trusting thing, isn't it? A good leader knows how and when to keep things secret, and sometimes a good leader even knows to keep things secret from himself.
Sure, we'll see what she has to say for herself, but don't forget that whatever she says is likely just as much lies as what he's been telling us. We should keep our cards close to our chest.
If I were you, I'd remember what she's done. You know how dangerous she is. And you should know that someone like her shouldn't be let loose upon the world.
A cabana que se dane. O que acontece se nós formos embora? Não, calma. Você parece estar bem tranquilo com essa história de ciclo.
What do you want me to say? It's bad that you've been here before. It's bad for you, it's bad for me, and it's especially bad for the world. The more times you run through this, the more likely it is that you'll fail. You've already failed twice. So you knew this could happen. Theoretically, sure, I knew this could happen, but I was supposed to be the first. I'd really rather not get into it.
Great! Not even he really seems to get what's going on. If the guy who goes around acting like he knows all the rules doesn't even know how this works, what's the point in listening?
Caraca, aí foi...
Then we can all move on and forget what I said about failure. It's important that you believe in yourself, and the fact you're here probably means that you still have a chance to pull this off and save the world. My world, at least. It sounds like you've probably doomed a couple of others already. I need to stop talking. Think happy thoughts.
Acabando que se dane, o que acontece se formos embora.
She gets out is what happens. Maybe not right away, but eventually. And a world that's doomed tomorrow is just as bad as a world that's doomed today.
I'm not sure I buy that. Everything has to end eventually. If it takes years to get out of there and supposedly end the world, then we've bought everyone that time. And all without having to murder anybody in the process. Not that she's innocent, but murder is unpleasant and risky. It could be a better solution for everyone.
You're here to permanently end the threat she poses. You're not here to temporarily postpone it.
Não importa o que virar, pelo visto todas as nossas respostas vão lá pra cabana, né? Vamos até o fim.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the base of the cabin. I think it's clear where everyone stands at this point.
I don't know if I'd say everyone. You talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one too.
Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one that matters. You know what you have to do.
Convencido. Eu segui até a cabana, a única opção.
The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore. The burned out ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table, a pristine... Wait, this isn't right. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? We gave it to her last time. She can't still have it, can she?
Well, it's not here. And if she has it... Let me guess. You want to get all chummy with her. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. It's just the smart thing to do.
Faz sentido.
I wouldn't be so hasty.
I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it.
That's not how this is supposed to work.
Of course we don't get to make a choice about the blade. Every single time we come back here, something has to be different.
Bom, vamos chegar lá embaixo. A única coisa que vejo é aquele espelho.
You're right, the mirror is back. There isn't anywhere for us to go. But I still don't get his angle here.
Calma. Não, mas não há espelho
Seems like
algum.
whatever we do, he's always going to say it isn't there. He's either a liar or he doesn't hold all the cards. But I think we already knew it had to be one of those.
So, is the door to the basement behind the mirror? I promise you there isn't a mirror and there isn't a door to the basement. The entrance is more of a burned out frame than anything else, and it's right there on the far side of the room. Do you really not see it?
Aproximar-se do espelho.
You step forward and approach the scorched entryway leading to the basement, hesitating before you begin the descent.
Esse espelho sempre quer dizer que na verdade eu tô encontrando uma nova das personalidades, né?
It went away when we touched it last time. Not that this place always follows the same rules.
Limpar.
Reach forward and wave your hand through the hollow entrance leading to the basement. You really thought there was a mirror there, didn't you? That can't be good. As if things weren't unpredictable enough.
Figures. Well, seems like the only way to go is forward, isn't it?
Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us.
Entrar no porão.
You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you. Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease. At least on the way down. But you don't need to think about the way back up just yet. That's a matter for after the world's been saved.
I'd say this feels like a trap, but you practically said as much. Yet you still want us to keep going.
They're only thorns. I'd say getting a few scratches in exchange for the lives of everyone in existence is a fair trade. I'm sure you'll manage. Her voice worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I? You betray me, I kill you, and you come back. You let me kill you, and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me.
Não sei o que eu quero, eu nunca escolhi vir pra cá.
I think you know how this goes. I'm down here and I can't leave. So, come down and talk. It's not like I can stop you.
Segui descendo a escada.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation. At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess, her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
Caraca. Não vim aqui rir de você, vim libertá-la se me permitir.
I want to trust you.
Her grip tightens on the blade.
But you're hiding something, aren't you? Why would you help me if you weren't helping yourself?
Você não é a única que anseia por liberdade. Eu também sou um prisioneiro. Acho que precisamos sair daqui juntos.
The princess clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us. But it's hard to let it go. You've hurt me.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
And I've also hurt you.
Não há nada que eu possa dizer para fazer você mudar de ideia?
I don't know. What can either of us really say at this point? How can we trust something as hollow as words?
She's right, there's nothing left to say. So let's get a move on and do something before she comes up with a scheme to get out of here on her own.
Careful with that one. He's not the smooth negotiator he thinks he is. But it does feel like we're stuck until we do something. If there's even anything to do besides make things worse.
We're not making things worse. I think she wants to trust us.
Posso pegar o punhal agora?
Her eyes briefly meet yours, then dart back to the floor. She hangs her head in resignation.
Okay.
Estender a mão em direção ao punhal.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms.
I'll be damned. She really gave it to us.
It feels like it's been so long since we've held real power in our hands. I wonder what we should do with it.
Tem algumas opções, né?
We free her, obviously. It's the right thing to do.
I think you're right. She's as much a victim in all of this as we've been. Besides, it would really stick it to him to free her. Or, hear me out, we slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may never get another chance.
Ela fica em lugares diferentes. Todo lugar, em teoria, é o mesmo, mas o lugar muda baseado nas escolhas que você faz. Baseado nas escolhas que eu fiz, esse lugar mudou pra ficar assim.
That sounds like a splendid idea. You should listen to him. We've all said our piece. Now it's time to make our move. It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't count. And why shouldn't he count? Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a say.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
Portal se pode libertar a princesa.
Yes, what a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her? You can't just switch sides as soon as we make a decision. I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is the right course of action. Let's free this princess. Even if he'll stick a knife in our back as soon as he has the opportunity, it's still better to have him nominally on our side. At least that gets him to shut up for a while. See? We're all friends here, united in our actions and intentions. Yeah, united. But the other one has a point. If it keeps you quiet, sure, we're all friends. You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation rather than her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. But you're not going to do that, are you? Still, all it would take is a single slip of the blade. Is that really all you've got, threatening us with an accidental misstep? I expected more from you. Our blade didn't even waver when he said that. Yeah, you're right, he's a bit of a nobody, isn't he? Good thing I've been on your side of all this since the beginning. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
Mas é claro.
She smiles, her hand slipping into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs. Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out. You're getting desperate, aren't you? Even more proof that you can't actually do anything to stop us. We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes. I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them out of the way. What a pathetic showing, really.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
Pisar nos espinhos ou cortar.
As you swing your blade into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this? It feels so good to hear you say that you're admitting you've lost and we've bested you at your own game at last. I don't care what happens now. That's all I've wanted. You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
Caminhar rumo à sua liberdade.
Hands clasped, the two of you open the door and step out into a new day. You irredeemable murderers.
Ganhei a conquista de mãos dadas.
What do we do now? Where's everything going? Why is it so cold?
Aí, ó. Libertei mais uma. Foi pega pela entidade suprema das princesas, sei lá o que é aquilo. Você não teve chance de responder nem terá. É hora de partir, memória retorna.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Claro que está com medo, afinal esse será seu fim, mas não será o meu fim.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing you better watch your back. You can't get rid of me that easy. So you're the real puppet master here? Can't believe I tried to help you.
Aproximei do espelho, observar o reflexo, eu me olho, né? Podemos tomar conta ao avançar. Esse foram novamente. O espelho sempre os faz desaparecer, mas você precisa ver o que há nele. Você definhou. Você se encontra no silêncio inabalável mais uma vez. Eu segui até a cabana, vou ver ela pegando fogo lá, né? Você está na cabana. Aproximar-se dela.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Não importa quantas vezes eu volte, pelo menos um de nós sempre machuca o outro. Isso não a afeta, não a torna pior.
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
Pelo contrário, acabo gostando mais de você, não sei o que isso diz sobre mim. Não, acho que não. Tudo parece tão distante assim que fico perto de você.
It does seem small from here, and the more we journey, the smaller each of those steps will be. But that doesn't make any of them less special.
Você não pode ser uma contradição. Contradições não existem.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
Como você aguenta ser uma contradição?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
O que você acha desse aspecto?
This one yearns for connection she feels she doesn't deserve. Even when shown compassion, she hid herself away. She will make for a cautious heart. Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
Ainda planeja matá-lo? Não. Você sabe o que acontece quando com os mundos que deixamos para trás? Já perguntou isso? Acho que já, né?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me.
Então foi ligar o ventilador rapidinho.
Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Você já sabe o que vai querer fazer quando terminarmos?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
Estou pronto para voltar.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Tudo fica escuro e você morre. Leve o espinho para ela. Coração prudente.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to...
Tu é chato, mané. Tudo bem, então. Obrigado por me dizer o que fazer.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the shore. A warning. She will... We're not gonna go through with this, right? Ignore.
Vamos até a cabana. O que eu posso fazer de diferente agora?
Is almost entirely bare. The blade.
Pegar o punhal.
You take the blade from the
Entrar no porão.
Her voice can.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Oi, acho que estou aqui pra te matar?
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a
Tem um
threat to the
final no
world?
jogo ou não? Tipo, você fez tudo, mas ainda pode jogar de novo, tendo os... Então, eu acho que tem um final, mas eu acho que você também pode ficar continuando jogando infinito. Mas eu acho que tem um final. Na verdade, ele vai travando essas coisas, né? Então acho que não tem como jogar infinito, não. A menos que você volte save, que você comece de novo, sei lá. Mas acho que tem um final.
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
Não precisa se desculpar, não. Eu ainda não decidi.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Soltar.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Eu queria perguntar isso. Um relacionamento, você tá dando em cima de mim? Não. Não, bem esquisito.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
Você vai acabar com o mundo.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Sim, tem vários finais, mas ainda tem o final do jogo. Eu acho que ainda tem o final do jogo.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Não necessariamente estou mais tentada a confiar em você do que em quem me enviou.
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart. Hopefully sooner.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
Ainda tem algumas perguntas antes de decidir o que fazer.
Fine. What do you want to know?
Qual? Não. Como eu tiraria daqui? Eu já fiz essas
You
perguntas, né?
can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... Well, We can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. She is.
Há quanto tempo você tá aqui embaixo?
Too long.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Também não dá detalhes. Já conversamos.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
E se eu tentar ceifar a princesa? É porque eu tô indo muito na vibe de vou salvar, vou ajudar, né? Todas as coisas que eu tenho feito é isso, só ceifar. É porque eu tô indo muito nessa vibe, eu poderia tentar seguir nessa vibe de tentar salvar até onde acabar as escolhas disso. Enfim, só vim dar um oizinho, tchau, até a próxima. Tchau, Elise, daqui a pouco eu tô parando também que eu tenho que ir trabalhar. Então calma, vou tirar você daqui.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall. They're large and heavy.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away.
E se não houver uma chave, você tem alguma ideia, além de decepar um membro seu pra tirar ela daqui?
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stair... Is someone else here?
Voltar para a base da escadaria. Não, tentar abrir a porta. Voltar para a base.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for who? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Salvar a princesa.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she didn't so much as utter a sound.
Isso aqui já aconteceu várias vezes.
The princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like...
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Aproximar-se da porta trancada.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, as the princess approaches the bottom stair, her body steps forward.
É a mesma coisa de sempre.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can watch me.
Aqui eu não devo ter opção. Eu tenho a opção de avisá-la ainda, mas eu posso ceifar de novo?
Stop that.
I thought this was a...
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into...
Calma. A princesa eu achei que tinha sido um pouco fácil demais.
Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am...
Aqui não tem como... Ah, posso resistir.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
Caraca.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Valeu, valeu. A prisioneira.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her.
Seu cretino, dessa vez não escapa, não cai mais nos seus truques.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying.
Voz do cético.
I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secret, and as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
Digamos que eu esteja dizendo a verdade, a situação tal já tem acontecido. Eu sei que tá acabando, vamos logo.
A warning. She will... Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
Wink.
Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Eu sei que tá acabando. Esse lugar não mudou muito, né? Acabando deve mudar, mas esse lugar de fora deve mudar só na próxima negócio, né?
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Pegar o punhal.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
Entrar no porão. Vou falar do espelho não, chega, cansei.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us?
Você lembra?
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
É bom ponto.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Sentasse com ela.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
Caraca, ela tá muito acorrentada, né?
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sentasse onde a princesa mandou.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
Já estive aqui antes, sou o único que se lembra?
Oh, are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
First you make a comment about having been here before, and now this. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck. If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us?
All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably.
And maybe
Pulei um diálogo sem querer. Se você... Não, eu precisava que você continuasse sem saber de nada pelo máximo de tempo possível. Isso é importante, necessário até. Talvez eu quisesse ser a primeira versão de mim que você conheceu. Eu não quis confrontar a alternativa.
That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't.
I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that.
Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright?
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
I won't.
Whoa.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
Antes você perguntou sobre as minhas intenções. O que quis dizer com isso?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, and I don't see any keys in your hands either. So I'm afraid my only way out is another surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
O que aconteceu depois da última vez que eu Não, depois que eu morri na última vez.
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
Como vou ser passei os meios para tirar ela daqui? Não sei se percebeu, mas sua cabeça também está presa. Não, calma, outra cordinha na parede pra quem é, primeiro.
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
Inspecionar o grilhão. Não, calma. Inspecionar.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
Boa.
I am.
Inspecionar.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad?
Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism. Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
No meu pescoço!
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement. Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now?
Ah. Prisão da mente, torne-se seu próprio carcereiro.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch?
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Então nós dois estamos presos aqui.
Yep.
Você sabia que isso ia acontecer comigo?
No.
O que faremos?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
Você não gosta de jogar a conversa fora, não é?
Nope.
Caraca, uma mulher de poucas palavras. Esperar em
You and the
silêncio.
princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything.
This is so boring. There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent.
At least the world is safe.
It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
But
Your line of questioning is interrupted by the passage of even more time. And after that, even more time passes again. And let me guess, the cabin remains the same.
if time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there. But then they get larger and larger.
Ei, você percebeu que o Coração está mudando?
I don't like small talk, remember?
Caraca, mulher difícil.
Still rude.
Continuar a esperar em silêncio.
You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happens to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass and pass
Meu Jesus.
until suddenly there are no walls. And then...
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Ih, eu levei ela. No capítulo 2, uau! Que final curioso. Mas você não teve chance de responder, nem terá. É hora de partir, minha mulher retorna.
Where does... Is that a... mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Fica tudo bem, confia em mim. Já estivemos aqui antes, você sempre fica com medo.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back.
Fear. Esse não, fim, seja lá o que tem do outro lado, vai ser bom.
Okay. If you say so, we'll trust you.
Na verdade é um fim pra vocês, mas falou!
Feels too good to be true.
Aproximar-se do espelho. Você se aproxima do espelho, observar-se no reflexo. Os silêncios tomam conta ao avançar, eles se foram novamente. O espelho sempre os faz desaparecer, mas você precisa ver o que há nele. Os restos mortais, você destrinchou. Você destrinchou. Ok. Você se encontrou no silêncio inabalável mais uma vez. Prosseguir até a cabana. Vai ser alguém com várias correntes, né? Ela com várias correntes, é. Você está na cabana. Aproximar-se dela.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
Tem árvores e estrelas e tem pessoas, eu acho. Pelo menos é pra ter.
There's a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Você acha alguma coisa real lá fora? Acha que nós somos reais?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Bom argumento. Você tem opinião sobre esse aspecto?
This one is determined, but also cautious. One that would rather let the world move around her than move it herself. She will make for a patient heart.
É verdade.
Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be.
Quando você me manda de volta, eu não fico sozinho. Tem umas vozes que falam comigo. Algumas são eu, mas uma delas é outra coisa. Eu o chamo de narrador. Ele quer que eu mate você. Você tem um narrador? Os aspectos tinham um?
No. Their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
Sim, mas você vai... Calma. Sim, não sei o porquê, mas tenho certeza disso. Pelo visto, sim.
I am on the cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours.
Você já tá próximo do seu, já? Você sabe o que vai acontecer quando você despertar?
If I did, I would already be awake.
Quantos aspectos ainda preciso trazer pra você?
One. Whatever you bring me next will be enough. And then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular. A final multitude.
Essa é a última vez, tem alguma coisa que você gostaria que eu trouxesse?
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
Essa é a última etapa que falta para completá-la, então eu não vou voltar. Vou ficar aqui.
You've already tried waiting, but I understand if you need more time. I'll wait with you.
Esperar.
I will see you when you return. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping?
Posso guardar, ó. Guardei.
If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage? You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always
eu já vi, né?
know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side.
Ah, vai fechar o jogo, né? Fechou o jogo.
I see you have returned to me. Days mean nothing in the maw of forever. I never left your side.
Tá, que já voltamos assim, né? É verdade. Estou pronto para voltar.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Tudo fica escuro e você morre. Eita ferro. Capítulo 1. Um coração paciente. Leve a prisioneira para ela.